Wilson Morales from Black Film TV. Hey, folks, how's it going?
Good. How are
Great,
you,
great.
sir?
How are you?
You know, when I say there's a high demand for people to watch the series, the trailer views says enough. So, Walker, talk to me about taking on this role and what did you do to try to embody yourself into the character you're playing?
Well, I read the books again. I already read them a couple times before that, but I think I was at like 3 or 4, and then I read them. I'm at 7 now. I read the first 5 books 7 times. But yeah, I read the 5 books again on my way to Vancouver.
Yeah.
What about the rest of you? Had you read the book prior to doing this, or did you have to start reading it and learning something new in order to get to know the character you're playing? Leah?
I did read the books prior to this. Actually, my brother helped me get into it a lot. But I feel like definitely when I started filming again, I wanted to make sure that I studied on this. And actually, our acting coach, Andrew, gave me this huge binder
Oh, yeah.
of just like all these things about all the Greek mythology stuff and about Annabeth, about Percy, Grover, and like all these gods and stuff and all these monsters. And I really feel like that really helped me. Like I am actually reading the books again right now, but I'm reading the comic book version where I can see the pictures and have the imagery of it.
Yeah.
Imagery.
What about you, Aryan? Did you have Cliff Notes?
Yeah, I was like reading the Spark Notes on the flight to Vancouver. No, I think we were all huge fans of the series before we even started. I had a dear friend who sent me the open call for the show, who got me into the series when I was in 3rd or 4th grade. It's what got me into reading, and it's, had a huge impact on me.
You guys have done other projects, but here you're working with a lot of CGI, so how comfortable were you, because not only you're acting, but you also have to pretend, because you see, I have this green screen behind me. So how was it for you guys when you were doing this and you're pretending to fly or fight or whatever? Walker?
Well, I don't want to speak for all of us, but our acting coach, Andrew,
Yeah.
he helped out a lot. Like, he'd show us, if we're being chased by like a CGI monster, he'd show us like a scary picture of what they're supposed to look like, and that would help a lot.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And yeah,
He would even chase us.
he would chase us sometimes. Yeah.
Yeah.
When you take on roles like this, and it's a series, and you guys can never stop learning. What are you picking up from doing a series like this, acting-wise, that helps you out in whatever you do next as an actor? Leah?
I feel like how do I explain this? Like, I definitely feel like working with like co-actors and things I feel like definitely it's good to have the chemistry before. And even sometimes even if you don't though, but like still I feel like what I want to take from this and build it on to others is definitely the chemistry of it. And also it's good to research about what's the chemistry in the show, if that makes sense. Like for example, when me and Percy have this one-on-one with Hermes, with Hermes, I made sure that I knew what was that relationship or what was the chemistry gonna be like with when I have that conversation with Hermes, because that's Luke's father. So, I want to make sure that I take that and things, but I'm basically saying like I want to make sure what's the chemistry before, if that makes sense. Yeah.
What about you, Ariane? I'll let you wrap it up. What did you learn from doing this series?
I mean, this is definitely the biggest project I've ever worked on, and like Leah said, there were so many good co-stars and guest stars. Even the ones that I didn't really get to act with a lot, like Jay, who was fantastic as Hades. I learned so much from him.
Yeah.
Like he just kind of stepped into the role naturally. He was there for 2 days and then he left, and it was like he didn't have to get adjusted to it at all, which was so impressive to get to watch. and even like the crew, they would like the camera crew would let us into their trailer at lunch and like mess with their equipment.
That's Lucas.
Yeah, Lucas. Dean, who's the A-cam op, he let me and Walker wear the Steadicam vest and like push the cart around.
Oh
So
yeah,
cool.
I literally, I fell. I almost fell.
And did you?
Yes, because like Lucas and Chris had to like almost hold me when I was walking because it was so heavy. I started leaning like this. I'm like, take it off of me, please.
The vest?
Yes.
From what I've watched, it's a lot of fun. I can't wait to see the rest of the episodes. Congratulations on the series. Congrats on the roles. We'll talk down the road. Take care of yourselves.
Thank you.
you so
You
much.
too.
You too.
You too.
Wilson Morales from Black Women TV. Here we are. Percy Jackson. Obviously, the trailer views says it a lot.
Hopefully.
It's really, you guys got a little brouhaha as people are waiting to see, so coming into this, what did you want to create differently that's different from what people had seen before from the books and the previous films? Jon?
I think the books work really well, and I think there wasn't a lot of time spent thinking about the movies or the place they would hold in this process. I think we really wanted to go back to the page and start fresh and try to really spend some time with what makes this story so powerful and so magical and something that's had this kind of an effect on so many people, and then try to take that thing and put it on screen and to try to use it as an opportunity to make something that there just doesn't exist a lot of in the landscape right now, which is something that is really meant for everyone. And I think that was a big part of the allure, something that you can fall in love with when you're 9 years old because it's big and fun, and you can fall in love with as an adult because it has something to say about what it means to be a parent, and everything in between. So I hope that we hit half the targets we were aiming at.
Having said all of that, obviously there are people who have read the book, and then as you mentioned before, there's a story that the parents are going to pay attention to. How much of a challenge is it trying to mesh it all together, because you're still trying to adapt it for the screen and stay faithful to those who read the books? Dan?
I mean, this whole process has been an unbelievable challenge, but that's what makes it exciting, is how you tell this story, like Jon's saying, for everyone, and that's looking at all the access points. How are we telling it for a kid who feels like an outsider, who doesn't fit in? How are you telling it for a parent who, has a kid with learning differences or felt like that kid, 20, 30, 40 years ago? And it's about finding those themes and making sure they're all talking to each other. But it comes from such an honest place. When Rick wrote this, it was a story for his son, and started from a very true place, and that's what, when it starts from there, it's like you just want to grow everything from that.
You touched upon a couple of key words, and the word I'm thinking is introvert. Like, how does a kid try to fit in? And it's a matter of how long do we see, how many episodes do we get, as fun as it is, before you start to feeling confident? Because the person that's watching it wants to find something that's relatable so that they can feel confident themselves, saying, okay, you never know what this series is going to do to any individual, whether it's the parent watching it or whether it's the kid. Did you think about that as far as where are we on episode 3 that we can move forward, even though you're still trying to adapt it from the book?
I think one of the puzzles in mapping it out was how much of the book takes place in camp and before camp, and a feeling. I think you hit it on the head that when I'm watching a show and I know there's an adventure coming, I want to go on that adventure and I want to get it moving. And so trying to figure out how to get all of the material important pieces of what amounts to more than a third of the book into the first quarter of the show was a bit of a puzzle, trying to figure out how to get those to all cooperate. But yeah, once those kids are on their own and out having their adventure, it's fun. And you want to spend as much time with them on the road out there as you can.
I always say the underlying characters to a fantasy series like this is not only the humor that we see in here, but also the production design and and everything else that we're seeing in here, like that has to be work. It's not just dialogue; it's everything involved with it. So like when you're putting this all together, did you say we got it right? Do we need more? Does the creature, any creature, have to be a certain way so that way it doesn't seem like it's a ripoff of something else? Dan, either one can answer.
Oh yeah, I think it goes back to what you were saying of like that we need to figure out how to make this for everyone, and part of that is making sure that this production value feels like it is at the highest level, because the expectations for everyone coming in is that they want to feel like this is grounded and real and high end, and that put a lot of pressure on us to make sure we delivered, but we got the resources. I mean, Disney really stepped up and put everything behind this because they knew what they had, but that also put a lot on us to make sure we were delivering on the quality, and that is in every piece of the design across the board, in how you figure out these creatures, these worlds. It's a massive canvas.
Hey, like I said before from the beginning, the trailer views said a lot, so you got a lot to work with. Congratulations on the series. I'm looking forward to see what everybody else says, but let's keep it going. Take care.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.